So now we're standing in front of Olli, which is an autonomous shuttle which has been brought to the University of Buffalo for testing. So Adel, could you tell us a little bit more about what Olli is
Sure.
and what you're doing with it here?
Sure. So Olli is what we call a level 5 self-driving shuttle. It doesn't have even a steering wheel. Our hope is that this could help, or something like Olli could help implement this notion of mobility as a service by linking or integrating with public transportation so that people can use it to get to their final destination, addressing the challenge of the first and last mile challenge of public transportation trips.
Do you both foresee vehicles like Olli becoming a part of mainstream transportation, especially public transportation or mass transit, in the next 5 to 10 years? Or do you think it would take much longer than that?
We would hope it would become part of the mainstream. How prevalent it's going to be is still hard to predict at this point. There is, as we've mentioned, a number of challenges that need to be overcome, but we're beginning to see it. So here it is for rear, and we're standing next to it.
And I think one of the things which would be important is how the policy issues are tackled to make it real. And so it also is not just a technology challenge. Places like Vegas have already tested some of these autonomous vehicles out on the street, and other states are still waiting for the other states to get comfortable, and they are the second adopters essentially.
So we've talked a lot about the U.S. states and the U.S. policy system here. Would you like to comment on the international systems? Do you think it might be there are other policy systems that are better equipped to handle autonomous vehicles in, say, in Western Europe, for example? And what are the systems that are going to have even bigger challenges than the United States for implementation of autonomous vehicles?
So I feel that China has made a lot of progress in policy decision and policy implementation in ease of use of autonomous vehicles. But again, the traffic scenarios in some of the developing countries can be a lot tougher than here. Lack of lane following logic, and people depending more on those things which I was talking about is hand signaling and hand waving and eye-based signaling. So those environments would be a lot difficult to adopt. Even in some of the cities like Rome, the heterogeneity of traffic is quite big as compared to US. So there are places where the traffic might make it unsuitable, and also adaptation of the technology to a specific area. We were looking into some people trying to figure out what would be best suited for Africa, or do we need a fully autonomous vehicles, or is it some kind of part autonomy that can be successful? So it would adapt to the environment too. But I think there definitely is going to be some countries which would be much more fast in adopting these systems as compared to other countries.
Yeah, I think to me, I mean, we have to make sure it's safe, because we're dealing with a system where humans are involved in it. So I think testing and certification and so on is critical to any public policy change before we can actually feel comfortable to do it. And we're seeing this happening right now with companies testing them on public roads and states looking into changing the laws to allow their testing. But definitely ensuring safety and reliability is key before we actually could see them become mainstream.
And one of the things to also look into is it is not absolute 100% safe. There might be still some problems there, but if it is order of magnitude safer than human drivers, if it is 100 times safer than human drivers, would it be acceptable or not? Because there are autonomous systems which fail even today, even in flight industry, but if they are much more order of magnitude safer than humans, is it a better bet to place?
So there are definitely a lot of opportunities and challenges with regards to autonomous shuttles like Olli, and we look forward to seeing them being resolved. And of course, the big data research that you do for transportation is going to be a large part of making sure that such smart transportation systems can be implemented in the mainstream urban transportation system. Thank you very much.
Thank you.